Gamers, welcome back, and to my enthusiasts as well, and maybe if you're just a fan of myself and the titties, who knows, the twins are here also to keep you company, albeit a little bit wrapped up in a lovely polo neck for this lovely episode. It is winter after all, it is getting chilly, and I know to everyone's disappointment, I am, well, more dressed in general at the moment, but hey, that's okay. That's okay. It will pass. It is what it is. Without further ado, guys, we have episode 9 ready for us tonight. And with that brings lots of bite-sized content and a little bit of a longer segment here and there as well. So let's get to it. Let's get to the gaming news. Boom! Announced early morning November 27, ByteDance, the parent company of TikTok, will be doing a major downsides and restructuring of its gaming department, Nuverse. This also marks the second time in only weeks that ByteDance has decided to do mass layoffs of hundreds of people at one of its smaller companies for restructuring. ByteDance laid off hundreds of employees at Pico, a VR company, a couple of weeks before these most recent layoffs with Nuverse. Launching in 2019, Nuverse had high hopes of getting in on the $217 billion gaming industry. But after launch and 4 years of work, they failed to get any commercial hits with their titles. A spokesperson for ByteDance was quoted as saying, "ByteDance made the difficult decision to restructure our gaming business." Indeed. For the time being, all unfinished or waiting to launch titles have been cancelled. However, it would seem live games with a current player base will remain active. If ByteDance plans to sell Nuverse assets and titles like Earth Revival and Marvel Snap to other gaming companies or retain them throughout the restructure remains unclear. Hogwarts Legacy released on Nintendo Switch earlier this month, and well, it's Hogwarts, albeit a laughably pixelated and blocky Hogwarts. See for yourself. Look, we knew this wasn't going to be as visually stunning as it looked on PC and PS5 due to the Switch having, let's say, hardware limitations other platforms do not have. But you know, with graphics processing like this, you'd expect this like 10 or 15 years ago with the Wii. All I can say is this preview leaves Dub, our writer on this piece, thinking,
what the hell is even that? All of you!
Daddy, chill.
Let's have a peek at a decent game which was lost in the mix late October. Wizard with a Gun is a top-down cooperative roguelite with gunslinging wizards and sandbox elements. Developed by Galvanic Games and published by Devolver Digital, players are given a spellbook that gives you crafting recipes. It also gives you the ground layer, a gun that creates platform tiles. Visually, really looks like Don't Starve. 5 minutes of save time before apocalypse starts, summoning hordes of monsters, eldritch horrors, and the death of the dinosaurs, with falling meteors. As you play, you make incremental progress towards new spells, weapons, and gear. Each gun can contain 2 bullet types or magical elements. You can upgrade and restore your wizard tower and build new machines to enhance your combat and survival, such as forges and research stations. As fun as this sounds, the combat is reportedly clunky and awkward, small enemies are too easy to kill, and bosses are a bit too tedious, with not much variety in enemy attacks. Let's hope future patches can help this. However, player combat, by contrast, has high potential for customization and experimentation with combos and elemental effects. Metacritic had it at a decent 71 upon launch, with IGN scoring it a 6 out of 10 and PC Gamer with an 80 out of 100. Netflix gaming is coming to the USA. Yep, you read that title card correctly. Netflix has been trying to get into cloud-driven gaming. Netflix made the announcement in a blog post back in August and started with a limited beta launch in Canada and the UK. Netflix then announced they'll be expanding the beta to the USA. Customers that are selected for the limited beta test will need to download the controller app to their phone in order to play the Netflix gaming platform. Customers will also be able to access the gaming services via personal computers and laptops, where they will be able to use a keyboard and mouse interface. In addition to revealing they will be expanding the beta to the USA, Netflix has also intentions to expand gaming content to include Netflix exclusive series, shows such as Black Mirror, Squid Games, and Wednesday. Other larger titles such as GTA are joining in December with GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas. Netflix gaming and chill, anyone? Counter-Strike 2 is still leaving players baffled with some of the design choices. However, let's bring in some background first and foremost. Counter-Strike 2 is a free upgrade to players with the Counter-Strike Global Offense that released back in 2012. As this technically is the base game and Counter-Strike 2 is the add-on. It also promises graphic acceleration and enhancements to the CSGO base game, as they will also include new features such as a new rating system, premiere mode, leaderboards, overhauled and upgraded maps, redesigned visual and audio effects, and the all-new smoke grenade with special effects and dynamics for how smoke interacts with the environment. While this all sounds great, let's get back to the bad. Over 2 months after the launch of CS2, still had technical bugs that no one seems to be able to solve right now, including lag, stutters, random FPS drops, which all, thankfully, with some work on your end, can be all solved. Somewhat, anyway. Users report the ranking system is broken, the economy in MR12 needs balance, audio needs adjustment balancing, movement feels inconsistent, deathmatch spawns are very bad, absent community servers, animation desyncs, and a lack of variety in modes. There's less than in CSGO. There's more, but I won't go on. One thing that still seems to be a big issue, however, particularly for the pros, are cheaters, which seems to be higher than ever. Can Valve fix all of these in a timely manner? We will need to see. It's disappointing to say the least, because the game has potential. Dune Spice Wars was released back in mid-September. However, the Xbox Series X version came out this week. It initially released to very positive reviews, 90 on IGN, 80 on the Games Machine, and 75 on multiplayer.it. Dune Spice Wars is set in Frank Herbert's sci-fi universe of Dune, and according to developers is based on the books, not the movie. Dune Spice Wars is a real-time strategy game set on the Dune planet of Acheris. I personally grew up with RTSs, playing games like Command & Conquer, Age of Empires, StarCraft and Warcraft, all amazing strategy games in their own right. The RTS genre isn't as popular like it used to be, but any good RTS is a welcome addition. You can play as one of 5 factions such as House Atreides, House Harkonnen, House Corrino, the Smugglers, and the Freemen, in solo or multiplayer modes. Your faction is engaged in dangerous but highly profitable venture of spice harvesting out in the deep deserts of Dune. The spice must flow. You must set up bases, purchase equipment, upgrade skills and attributes to increase your faction's ability to harvest the spice safely while avoiding the many dangers of Dune, such as the giant sandworms and extreme desert heat and storms. In addition to harvesting and avoiding the many natural dangers, you will also have to compete or align with the other factions through espionage and open battle. You must build your economy and pay taxes and tributes to the Empire in order to secure your position within the Landsarad Council and maintain your right to harvest the spice while trying to gain more and more control over the Council and Empire. After all, he who controls the spice controls the universe. Did you know the new MetaQuest 3 released in October to markets everywhere with massively underwhelming sales? Meta initially forecasted roughly 7 million units would be needed for the first generation order before pre-orders went live. They later cut the initial manufacturing order to just 2.5 million units based on the low pre-order numbers, with 1 million of those units expected to last right through the first quarter of 2024. Even with selling before Christmas, it will likely only sell 1.5 million units. Look like Zucky Boy's got another flop on his hands. Investors really need a better way to distract him away from blowing their money. Possibly another Meta? Anyone? Release prices are about 500 USD for the 128 GB version and 650 for the 512 GB version, compared to the Meta Quest 2, which released at 400 USD for the top end model. So what exactly is the Meta Quest 3, you might be asking? Put simply, the Meta Quest 3 is the newest VR headset, or Oculus, released by Meta. However, this will be the first headset from Meta to include the new augmented reality technology that came to the consumer market over the last year or so. The Meta Quest 3 allows users to access standard VR features such as 3D videos, interactive games and activities, as well as dive into the metaverse. Picture this. You are your avatar in a highly personalized and interactive digital meeting space like no other, giving you the ability to... What? Am I reading that right? Digital, you like no other, giving you the ability of digital space. PlayStation Home for the PlayStation 3? This is 18 years ago, people. I can't tell them this. What? They're expecting Wii graphics, PlayStation 2. On the verge, this is PlayStation 3 at best. I cannot sell them this. Come on, guys. Who wrote this script? Well, okay, I guess it's like the PlayStation Home if you've sat too close yourself to the TV. But yeah, metaverse. Yeah, go interactive space, guys. Woo. I'm done. Okay. And what does AR technology allow users to do? Essentially, a digitally augmented reality of your surrounding environment, which allows users to see their current environment and settings with a digital interface desktop, also known as the workspace. This augmented reality will come on the device with several cameras and sensors on the exterior of the device, which feed video and environmental information into the display to provide you with the AR workspace. Pretty much think of it like having your desktop icons and chat log everywhere you look, overlaid upon your living room, kitchen, office, bedroom, etc. And what are the biggest differences between the last model and this? I'm glad you asked, dear viewer. Well, mainly the biggest differences noted are the AR features, slightly better processing power with higher frame rates and vivid resolution. The Meta Quest 2 featured a 2 to 3 hour battery life, a Qualcomm Snapdragon XR2 CPU, 6GB of RAM and 60Hz native refresh rate and Ultra HD display. The Meta Quest 3 features a 3-hour battery life, almost the same pretty much, a Qualcomm Snapdragon XR2 Gen 2 CPU, 8GB of RAM, and a 90Hz native refresh rate, with up to 120 with experimental refresh rate, and a 4K infinite display. It is also said to be up to 60% louder with a more dynamic sound output, and the Quest 3 will function slightly better than its predecessor with true 4K plus playback. Should I rush out to buy the new Meta Quest 3 and replace my Meta Quest 2, you may ask? Nah, it's an upgrade, I suppose. Well, it's not I suppose, it really is an upgrade. Like, personally, I would wait for Meta to get desperate to move units come 2024 because they'll start freaking out that they're not selling enough, and then they'll be forced to drop the retail price dramatically, and that's even considering if you're remotely interested in AR technology. Gamer Awards begins on Thursday 7th of December, which I will live stream. Make sure you visit their website and get your votes for your favorite games, and remember, may Baldur's Gate 3 be the game of the year, or I'll shave my chest hair. And we wouldn't want that, would we? From the recent Joystick Awards, Baldur's Gate 3 and Larian Studios, who made it, of course, took home the Best Story, Best Visual Design, Best Gaming Community, Studio of the Year, Best Supporting Performer to Neil Newbon for Asterion, and Ultimate Game of the Year. Quite a title, I must say. Now, please make sure you go and vote for your favourite games in the categories. And remember, as I said, Baldur's Gate 3 will win Game of the Year. Mark my words, or that chest hair, bye-bye. Initially released in 2021 by Experiment 101, Biomutant is an open-world post-apocalyptic RPG where you use martial arts styled combat, shooting and mutant powers to take down foes. The game is shaped by branching paths to defend the life tree. The game received a mixed reception, but it's now coming to the Switch for a second attempt of life on November 30th. In a future dystopia inspired by the legend of Robin Hood, Appeal Studios have you play as one of the Merry Men, fight the armies of the Sheriff of Nottingham and lead the rebellion, solo or in co-op with up to 4 players. It's coming with a very mixed reception, so bear this in mind. It's time to rob the rich and give it to the poor, over on PC, Xbox Series X and PS5, November 30th. Hawked comes from My Game Studio and is a free online PvP VE extraction shooter. Squad up and explore a mysterious island in a high-paced environment where you battle monsters, solve puzzles, and outsmart other players, then escape with the treasure. Drop in, shoot, loot, extract, repeat. Only on PC, November 30th. Baltoro Games puts you in Pixel's shoes in a world crafted in pixel art with Pixel Cafe. Navigate an adventure in a coming-of-age story that bridges time, memories, and the aroma of fresh coffee. Dive deep into a city balancing its past and future with an arcade-style manager and visual novel. Get caffeinated on all consoles and PC, November 30th. Dragon Quest Monsters is a spin-off series developed by Tosi and developed by, of course, Square Enix. A cursed prince must become a monster wrangler to create the ultimate army to overthrow his father on a quest for vengeance. Will you become the master of monster kind? Wrangle your monster. Only on the Switch, December 1st. Sanguivinaire by Blood Eater Games is a survival first-person escape room style nightmare. Your mission? To lead your team to safety through one of multiple escape routes while evading bloodthirsty monsters hunting you. It is in your blood to survive. Over on PC, December 1st. SteamWorld Build is a city-building dungeon-crawling game developed by The Station. Build a city on an alien planet, prepare your resources, and eventually equip your team of miners to explore the mines for vital deposits to help eventually escape the planet. A new installment to the series. Erect your scaffoldings on console and PC, December 1st. And guys, thank you for sticking with me today. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I hope you enjoyed the show. Also, I hope you like me in a nice turtleneck. Aw, don't you want to bring me home to meet your mother? I'm lovely. I'm lovely. She'll love me as well. Let's do a flex in the sweater as well. Why not? To end off this episode. However, if you do like what you see, not just from myself, but also from the gaming, then check out the subscribe button below to see more content in the not so distant future. It is starting to get a little bit chilly here now in Ireland, but look, it is what it is. But until then, please feel free to like, share, and as I mentioned, subscribe. And if you do want to see more, just stay tuned. Anyway, guys, thank you for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you all very, very, very soon. Sláinte.